Oh, great. Hello and welcome back to Behind the Wall. The youth movement has definitely brought some fresh young talent that will definitely be legends of the sport in the future, such as Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Alex Bowen, Cole Custer, and Chase Elliott. And it's also introduced some young drivers who have the sponsors but not the talent. Good examples of these types of drivers include Spencer Gallagher and Brandon Jones before 2018 at least, Tim George Jr., John West Townley, and Justin Boston. Yet, despite the distinct categories that each of these drivers fall into, one driver in particular stands out as being eligible for both categories. Grala is a driver that you could go both ways with. For one, his Truck Series Rookie of the Year was mediocre. 17 Fs with 4 in a row during the summer, and the only win he had during the season was the season opener. He almost got the win in Canada, but you know what happened. His Truck Series season was honestly abysmal for the most part, but he did have a good amount of top 10s, but it was really clear Grala wasn't ready for the Xfinity Series. But apparently JGL Racing thought otherwise because they announced that he would be driving the 24 full-time this year. When this news was announced, I was incredibly skeptical of this because, well, Grala hadn't proven himself yet as a capable driver for the Xfinity Series. I was questioning JGL's decision about rushing Grala up to the Xfinity Series because that typically doesn't end well. But in all honesty, I think Grala's performance has been fine in the equipment that he has. JGL is by no means the best team in the garage, but they have a good amount of decent results with a multitude of drivers, so that's allowed them to be considered one of the better teams in that series. And Grala has a good amount of decent finishes in this time with JGL, so that's also another plus. He hasn't DNF'd as much as last year, and he's definitely performed better than his Truck Series Rookie of the Year. But you all know where this is going. Apparently, JGL didn't think that it was enough because Grala announced via Twitter that he was being released from JGL. JGL announced afterwards that they were shutting down the 24 due to a lack of sponsorship. What? Whoa. What? Okay, so this is what I don't understand. How does James Whitener not find sponsorship for his cars? Towards the end of last year, he shut down the 28 due to a lack of sponsorship, leaving Dakota Armstrong without a ride for the remainder of the year. And he still is without a ride. And now this year, he shuts down the 24 due to a lack of sponsorship. But here's the question I have. Dakota Armstrong and Winfield are inseparable. And JGL had Winfield for practically the entire season. They were unsponsored for only 4 races, so that really isn't unsponsored. And then they released Grala due to a lack of sponsorship as well. But hear this out. Any TTTTS, his sponsor for the entirety of this season, is joining him at Fury Race Cars this weekend in Charlotte. Meaning that Grala still had the sponsorship. So why is James Whitener shutting down these cars that clearly did have sponsorship and just leave him running with one car? And the team that he would leave running would be the worst. It would be the worst car. Thankfully, Grala wouldn't have to look long for a ride because Fury Race Cars took him in as their first driver for the Xfinity Series, and he brought over NETTTS as well, ensuring that they would have a sponsorship for a while. So overall, I'm extremely disappointed with James Whitener and JGL Racing for screwing Grala out of a good ride because who knows if Fury Race Cars, whatever type of name that is a team capable of giving Grala good results. The fact that JGL chose to keep Dylan Lupton instead of Grala because now they're certainly screwed for the rest of the season if Lupton just can't get his results up. That's just insulting. Grala is a better driver than Dylan Lupton, yet apparently James Whitener doesn't think so. So in short, rest in peace JGL Racing because that's literally what's going to happen to them at season's end if Dylan Lupton doesn't get his results up. It's just sickening because Dylan Lupton crashes more than Grala does.